Greetings once again to my fellow watch enthusiasts on YouTube and Facebook and wherever else this video might be seen or shared. It's the Lean Driver again, back for video number 5 in my Watches for Life series. Little series I came up with, sort of my own idea of talking about different types of watches, why I like them, why I have them in my collection, why they're part of my life. And this is video number 3 in a mini-series under that group of videos. What to take with you, part 3. Part 1, but first, the premise, if you haven't watched the other 2 videos, the premise came from a conversation I was having with my daughters recently about what watches you would take with you. In this case, my more wise ass of the 2 daughters, I said, well, what watches would you take with you to heaven? This is assuming I go to heaven. And I said, well, I don't want to think about my own death, but it sort of morphed into what watches would you take with you on a trip or on vacation. You were only limited to 3 watches. And I came up with 3 categories. A dive watch or diver style watch, an evening wear or formal watch. That was video 2. And this watch is sort of an everyday watch that isn't a dive watch. So that would be if even if you're a diver, you don't go diving every day, or at least you probably don't. I'm not a diver, so I'm more likely to pick a watch that is a non-diver than a diver. And I want variety even when I'm traveling. That's why 3 watches with 3 distinct styles. So I have a good variety here. I have some Kickstarter watches. I have some micro brand watches. And one watch from a highly known and I believe highly regarded company. That's not to say the micro brands and the Kickstarters aren't highly regarded either. Let's see. I have a Caliber. I have a trio of Waldhoff, sorry, not Waldorf. Jesus. Waldhoff Multimatics. I have a Filippo Loretti, which is probably the most controversial watch I've ever owned. I mean, geez, the amount of mail and messages I get about Filippo Loretti is incredible. You would think I commit original sin every time I mention the name. I haven't had problems with Filippo Loretti. I like them, and I like the people that I worked with at FL. So, you don't like them? Aiden. I like them, so I'm going to talk about them. I have a Zelos, which is probably one of my favorite manufacturers. And you're probably wondering, why haven't you featured Zelos in any of these videos? Well, I don't know, honestly, but I am now. And I have a Citizen back here. So let's take a look at some of these. I have a Caliper. This was a Kickstarter watch that I did an unboxing video of. In fact, I've done unboxing videos on all of these, so you might want to go back and check them out. This is a slide rule watch. You see there are no complications on it. It's just a 3-hand watch. Crown's up here at the 2 o'clock. And down here at the 4 o'clock is another crown, which if you unscrew it, and you heard it pop, maybe, you can see that the outer track rotates. Now, I'm not a scientist. I don't know how to use a slide rule. But supposedly you can do all kinds of things with this. You can calculate tips in a restaurant. You can do all all manner of calculations, which I don't know because I'm not a scientist, but I bought the watch because it was very unique. And like I said, it's a Kickstarter campaign, and it wears very nicely, keeps great time, very nicely detailed watch. The slide rule works very nicely on the exam. I've actually looked up examples of how to use a slide rule on the internet. Ran them on this watch, works fine. So this is a true slide rule. Beautiful mesh band. Nice every day. Wear it out during the day. Great piece. I have a Zelos. This is a Helmsman 2, I should say. It is technically a dive watch. If you unscrew this bezel, or actually you don't have to unscrew it. Well, it was unscrewed anyway, but and it rotates. It's a bidirectional bezel, and it rotates the inner bezel for dive capability, and then you screw it down, and it can't move again. But it's not really, compared to the other Zelos watches I have, the Hammerheads and the Makos, this one doesn't work so well for me. To me, it doesn't seem like a dive watch. It seems more like an everyday wear watch that happens to have a dive style bezel on it. So I don't count this one among my dive watches. Probably a little controversial there for me to say that, but that's how I feel about it. I feel this is more of a everyday sporty wearable watch with a beautiful meteorite interface, nice loom capability, beautiful engraving of a ship's tall ship's wheel on the back. It's a nice watch, but I would count this more as an everyday sport type watch more than a diver. Waldhoff Multimatics. Two of them I bought through the Kickstarter campaign. Oh, and by the way, this was purchased directly from Zelos. Two of these I bought from the Kickstarter campaign. The Diamond Silver and the Royal Blue. They both are essentially the same watch except for coloring and case coloring and face coloring. They both use the Miyota, whatever, 9100 movement. They're automatics. They have pretty much the same complications. You have a 24-hour complication at the 6 o'clock, day of the week at the 9, month of the year at the 3, date at the 4:30 position, and a power indicator at the 12 o'clock. I have also the rose gold version, which was an eBay find. This was actually a factory prototype. I confirmed this with the folks over at Waldhoff that this was a prototype. The only difference between this watch and these two watches was not the watch, but it was the band. These bands have quick releases, as you can see on the side. Now this one actually had a quick release in the middle, and they found that when the band flexed like that, it began to tear into the back of the case. So they changed it from the center on the prototype to the side loader on the production, and they were kind enough to send me a replacement band. And I put the deploy clasps on later, did that myself. This is rose gold, and these other two are silver finish. Great everyday watches. I mean, they are beautifully attractive. I would even argue that if you were out in the afternoon and you transitioned into evening and you were going out to dinner, the rose gold or the silver would wear extremely well going out to dinner with friends on the vacation. The blue one would too, but maybe not as much because of the blue face versus white face on these two watches. So these two give you a little more versatility. This one probably the most versatility, since rose gold tends to be a little more formal than silver. But two very nice everyday non-diver watches. They definitely look the part. I have a Filippo Loretti here. I've sold a lot of Filippo Loretti quartzes right now. I still have a couple left to sell. This is one of their automatics. This is the Venice series. And remember, I included a Venice white face with silver dial with a little gold trim here as one of my quote-unquote formal watches. This one is I think this is probably their most popular of the Venice series, which is, I believe, the most popular overall watch. This one is the very blue. This watch is ticking all the right boxes, and I'm not selling this one ever. If I do, it's going to be at a premium price because it's a premium demand watch, and it would be a great everyday wear it out while you're traveling type of watch. Definitely a conversation starter. And over here, this is literally my latest purchase. I mean, this is the last watch I bought. Not the last watch, but the latest watch I bought. I did a video on it. It is a Citizen. It's an Eco Drive Blue Angel. What they call the Skyhawk line. It's a Blue Angel, named after the Navy Blue Angel Precision Flying Team. It's a big watch. It's a quartz. Eco Drive, as I said. Radio updated. It has a UTC function, multiple time zone function, radio updating, calendar, chronograph, stop, countdown timer, 2 alarms. This thing could be, I mean, it's a little bit big to go out in the evening watch, but with its water resistance, I believe it's a decent water resistant level. I have to look it up. I thought it was 200 meters, but I've forgotten by now. It could function as maybe a snorkeling watch. I wouldn't go diving with this because it doesn't have a dive bezel, and I really think you should have a dive bezel when you dive. But a solid piece. I wear this quite often, being that it is a gorgeous blue color, maybe not quite as shocking blue as my little sapphire watch here, but still a beautiful blue watch. Easy to read, even with that busy dial. Eco Drive means basically any light source keeps it charged up, so you can see the charge level is full. I believe it's like something ridiculous, like a 10-month power reserve, something crazy like that. Just a beautiful watch, and would make a great everyday watch, a great watch to non-diver take with you on a trip And unless you're hardcore scuba diving, you wouldn't need another watch. Just great choice there. So, and I have a whole lot more watches than this. I was just pulling all these out as examples of non-diver, wear it during the day kind of watches that I would pick from if I were taking a trip. I can only take 3. I've already picked the other 2. I picked the Doxa Caribbean Sub 750T GMT for my. I picked my Bulova Accutron 1961 Space View 14 karat white gold. That would be my evening watch. This one is a little harder than I thought. I'm looking at all these watches, and I can make a compelling case in my own mind for any of them. All of them. I'd love to take them all, but I can't. I can only pick one. And I don't know. I think, given the versatility of the watch to go from day to night if it had to, and the fact that it is just a lovely watch with all the right complications to give you the information that you need at a glance very quickly. You know what I would probably pick? I would probably pick this one. Even though I love blue, I am a big blue fan, and this one would be like 1B. The only reason I'm going to pick the silver one over any of the other 2 Multimatics and over all of the other ones is if I had to wear this thing at night. I couldn't go back to the hotel or wherever I was staying and swap watches. If I had to wear one all day, this one. It's beautifully done. Look at with the coin edge case, the beautiful Roman numerals, the nice little splash of color in the second hand and in the 24-hour indicator. It's a white face, which is immediately more formal than all of the other watches in my head, and has the versatility of being a day and night watch, as opposed to this one I think is a little less versatile, being rose gold. Not any less lovely, but maybe a little less versatile. And I'm going for versatility here as well as looks. I'm going to pick my Diamond Silver Multimatic as watch number 3 in my 3 watches I take with me on vacation or trip load. That's it. So if you guys have any other opinions about any of these other watches, or if you have another watch that you have that is a non-diver, everyday watch that you would take with you on a trip or on vacation, let me know. Comments down below. Give me a thumbs up if you like the video. Consider subscribing so that when I make new videos, and don't forget to click the little bell icon so that when I post a video up, you see it. That's it. I'm going to go into some other watches for life ideas that I have, but for the sub series of what would you take with you, I'm done. I've made my choices. Let me know what you think. Comments below, subscribe, give me a like, and thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video.